Hello everybody, and today I want to talk about the scale of power that is going on right now in DBS manga. Alright, the balance of the universe dealing with the strongest powers in Universe 7 is a little odd right now, because where they're supposed to be, they're not really giving us too much, and I want to basically take a deep dive into this. But before we do so, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow any of my socials, come and be a part of the community here. Let's get discussion going. Let's get this video in the algorithm and let's get right into it. So the balance and power of the universe has finally shifted with the latest arc that has happened in the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is that of the Granolah the Survivor arc. Alright, and it was always talking about his revenge. You know, he wanted on the Saiyans and Freeza, and how he wished to be the strongest in the universe among all mortals that was present at the time. All right, but what happened within the story and the story's progression of scale of power is a little bit weird, following that of the Moral arc and Broly arc and Turn of Power and so on and so forth. All right, so when he became the strongest in the universe, all right, we have to understand that he was surpassing beings that you have to train most of your life, unless you're like some super mutant or some super alien or some superhuman being or whatever that had great potential. All right, and you train for a lot of their lives and you put your life on the line, you fight, you know, not wasting any moments and energy or anything like that, you know, and getting stronger over time. All right, so we have Granolah wishing for the strongest power, and he attained the destruction technique. He attained abilities, you know, that surpass even that of our main protagonist. All right, but I want to look at this a little further, all right, and why the scale of power is a little weird right now. All right, Vegeta went from being nowhere near the god of the destruction realm and the angel realm, all right, to literally being stronger than the strongest power in the universe, which the strongest power in the universe surpassed that of Ultra Instinct Goku, who was basically perfect. All right, he was the strongest mortal in the entire universe at the time, meaning he was stronger than Freeza, he was stronger than Broly, stronger than Vegeta, stronger than every being that existed in the universe, all right, in the mortal realm. All right, and he was even made it to where when he was in Ultra Instinct Sign, he had made it to that of the gods realm. His power had reached the realm of gods. He had finally got on their level. All right, that was the next accomplishment that he had achieved. So we have to understand that Granolah surpassed all of these things with the wish, but of course there's a monkey paw effect. He had to give up majority of his life, and he has only 3 years to live. So that was the con to it. All right, but you have Vegeta, who did the bare bones minimum of training. All right, and when it gets Granolah, and the strongest power pushed Vegeta, just like the strongest mortal in the multiverse pushed Goku, to unlock this innate ability to use the godly technique that he has learned and that he was training for, to unleash a power within him to utilize the god of destruction technique much better at his top performance that he could, which gave him power, you know, to surpass his limits. All right, and since he's surpassing his limits, there is no limit to his power, but there is a limit to how much damage his body can withstand and endure. All right, so since we know this, it kind of made the scale of weird, because Vegeta just jumped in like a fusion level increase. All right, he just had a fusion level increase in order to surpass, in order to catch up, you know, to that of Goku and Granolah and Beerus and all these other characters. All right, so how I'm looking at it, and even said that he has now unprecedented destructive power. All right, and he's the most dangerous man within that of the universe, because the thing about Vegeta is he's going to kill you. All right, he's going to beat you down. He's literally fighting to defeat you. All right, he's literally fighting for an ego boost and to show that he is the supreme. But regardless, he surpassed Granolah, and Granolah ended up in turn surpassing him, unleashing his true potential of power and unlocking double cerulean eyes. All right, so when he unlocked the double cerulean eyes, it tipped the scale back into Granolah's favor, and of course he became the strongest yet again. But the issue with this is where do they scale? All right, on where are they at? All right, because Vegeta has gained the God of Destruction power, and we know that all the gods of destruction is they're grouped together because they're in a state of power, because they have enough power to put each other down. But of course, their intelligence and their abilities and how much they can endure and stamina and all these things play into a factor of who is the strongest. Because if you look at Champa and you look at Beerus, it's stated in the manga and in anime and also the material that they actually have the same equal level of power, but what separates them is the fact that Champa has no stamina. He can't fight for a long time. He's not in good condition. He's let himself go. He's not in good shape, but he still has overwhelmingly destructive power that is equal to that of Beerus. So his hits and everything is going to hurt someone like Beerus, but Beerus is going to outdo him because he keeps up with his training. At least he keeps himself in tip-top condition or whatnot. All right, so he's not going to have a stamina issue. And we see this also that he has higher level of skill too, because he's the only one in the God of Destruction exhibition that we've seen where he was using trying to tap into Ultra Instinct and to use against the Gods of Destruction, because he felt like that was the best bet in order to, you know, outmaneuver and outdo them. But it's still, you know, he had to abandon it because he doesn't have it down. All right, he can't do it for long. And then on top of that, he's not the physically strongest God of Destruction. That goes to Catella, who's the physically strongest God of Destruction. All right, so where do these characters scale? We had a being in a tournament of power that was stronger than the God of Destruction, which that God of Destruction is on par with every other God of Destruction, and he's probably smarter than every other God of Destruction. He out-strategized them, and we know that they're all grouped together in a state. All right, they're a state of power. They're a line of power. So, and Jiren exceeded that. But we go forward and go further, where we have characters like Moro, who thought himself to be surpassed with the gods, but he didn't surpass the gods. He was comparing himself maybe to Goku using Ultra Instinct Sign, because that is a godly technique, and he was using godly ki in the realm of gods. He had reached that level. All right, and he dominated Goku, you know, in the end. And then he went on to become Mortal 7-3, absorbed. He had all the powers that 7-3 had copied, and it returned to home, as he said. So it was a permanent power boost. And then you have, you know, where he took Vegeta, a newly improved, you know, he increased his spirit, which unleashed his actual potential of power, and that of Blue Evolution, and he added that to his power. Then he later on he one-shots a Ultra Instinct Sign that was right back to a completely healed from Dende. 100%, he one-shots him. And he also takes on Maris' attacks and blows when Maris releases power, you know, and destroyed the crystal and things like that. He survived that or whatever, but he was able to one-shot that. But then Goku comes back and he dwarfs that Moro 7-3, and he raged out, used his full power, and Goku no-diffed him. All right, and then he even had no issues handling Angel Moro, you know, or Morris, or whatever you want to call him, Moro with Angel power. And even when he became Planet Moro, he still had more power than Planet Moro. He just was cautious because now he was at a standpoint of, oh, I don't know how to handle this. He didn't have faith that he could handle this without destroying the planet, you know, his own power. But, you know, Whis had to give him that confidence and that faith, and that is now Goku's weakness. And then he's now overcome that in the current arc, in Granolah arc. But the thing I want to go for is, because now we're at these levels or whatnot, where did Granolah stack up at? You know, how does freaking Vegeta stack up to the other gods of destruction now that he has God of Destruction power? My personal opinion, I think he has the same. He's on their plane of power or whatever, but they'll all beat him because they're way more honed. They've been using the skill longer than he has or whatever. That doesn't mean that he wouldn't be able to beat them. I just think that that's probably going to be the factor. They understand how to use their ultra ego, you know, their destruction, God of Destruction power, whereas Vegeta's still trying to figure out and evolve his ultra ego into how to optimize it the best, all right, and use it the best way. So I think he's on their level. I just think that what separates them is literally the use and ability and the skill. All right, that's part of what separates them. Because even back when Tournament of Power, before it started, Vegeta was a candidate, at least for some other universe or whatever. He was at least in the candidate league. Now he should be on the level because he's caught up. He's caught up to Goku. He's caught up to everybody. He was even scared the strongest mortal in the universe at the time, which was Gas. You know, when he was evolving, he was getting stronger, but and he has to figure out how to use it. So I do think he's on the level of the God of Destruction. But where does Gas stack up at as well? Like, in terms of power, did Gas exceed the God of Destruction? Does Gas, is he on the level of the God of Destruction? Is he stronger than Maris? Like, where do these characters scale? Because now that we have Freeza, Black Frieza, come in and one-shot a true Ultra Instinct Goku, and he comes in and one-shots an evolved Ultra Ego Vegeta, and he comes in and one-shots the strongest mortal in the universe, Gas, who surpassed all these levels. We have to understand the increases of power that Gas had as well. We have to realize that Gas had used his power when he was sealed. He was the strongest in the universe. Then when he unleashes Berserk form, his Berserk state, he ended up showing more power, and then he took control over that incredible power where they didn't call him Nigh Invincible. Then you go on and he gets trumped by true Ultra Instinct Goku later, and then he gets stronger by unleashes his full power but using up Life Force, and that was a power boost. And then he has to use more Life Force further because now it's true Ultra Instinct Goku and Granolah, and Vegeta, they're all tag teaming, so he had to use more power, and he still loses, and he gets back up, uses more power. Like, we have to understand the scales of strength here. So where do they stack up at? And I have an issue with this because how I'm looking at it is Frieza should be the strongest being outside of the guide angels. All right, he should be so powerful right now because all the leaps and jumps and things that has happened, and he's trained for 10 years, and we don't know what the type of training he did, but he was able to one-shot them. He should, if the universe is truly balanced, all right, and it's truly shifted, that means that Goku and company and them, they are not seen as a huge threat to Frieza right now. All right, Frieza now has seen himself as he has equalized the balance of power to where now he's back to being a dominator, and he's back to being an emperor that should be feared amongst everybody. All right, now Whis is Whis. He's not gonna be worried about anything. He more so probably be worried about Goku and company because he's very fond of Goku. He likes Goku above everybody else. He is a Goku fanboy. All right, and he has respect for Vegeta, but Beerus is more so liking to Vegeta because Vegeta is more like Beerus. But still, regardless, the way that universe now has balanced out and shifted, Frieza should be back as a dominator. Beerus should be threatened. All right, Beerus should be actually saying Frieza is a problem. This is a problem because he's always annoyed by Goku saying he's the strongest and using Ultra Instinct. This should be at a level to where Frieza shouldn't be competed with. They have to figure out how to deal with Frieza, all right, because Beerus don't even like Frieza. This will be the perfect moment for Frieza to display his power by defeating Beerus, by defeating Beerus and leaving him alive to show that he has learned, he has encompassed everything that Goku has instilled, everything that Goku has done, and shown that he's at the top. He leaves him there. He doesn't have to kill him. He knows that he come back stronger, but he's the dominator. He's the alpha here. He's the one. He's the Omega. He is the one that is on top. Frieza should do that to Beerus to show and put fear through every single being in the universe, and that will create tension within the story. That will put the scaling on a nice level. In fact, his name should be started to ring because everybody in the multiverse knows about him now. Everybody despise Frieza. This will be even more of a reason to despise him because he's a real threat. All right, but that is all I'm going to talk about here. I just want to know your thoughts. What do you think about it? I think this will create an actual tension, get ideas going, can actually flow, get a lot of creative writing going, and this actually will be healthy and good as for Dragon Ball, instead of having the same character put fear into everybody or whatever. Because let's be honest, Beerus doesn't do anything. This will be the first time that we actually get to see Frieza versus Beerus, because Beerus doesn't like Frieza. Remember, Beerus said he was going to kill and erase Frieza. This will be a problem where Beerus said, okay, let me go ahead and erase you or wipe you out now because you're getting too full of yourself. And Frieza denies and said, I don't think that you will be able to do that now. Now it is in my favor, and I will show you the power that I have attained as Black Frieza. Oh, the thoughts, the creative. Let me get out of here, y'all. Appreciate your time. Let's get this video going. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Peace.